Hey everyone, this is Pig for Life, and today's review is a special early look at BadCube's old-time series OTS-02 Brawny, their version of the gruff Autobot Brawn. I want to thank both BadCube and Toy Dojo for the opportunity to do this early review. And as always, just a quick disclaimer that this is a test shot or prototype, and that this review is for the prototype only and shouldn't be misconstrued as a review for the final product. There probably will be a set of changes and improvements prior to the final release of the figure, and I actually know some of those already, and we'll talk about those throughout the review. Okay, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into robot mode review. So as we just took a quick 360 look at Brawny, and we saw that he looks quite good. He's a really good representation of Brawn for this masterpiece scale. So he looks, you know, the squat, old-timey figure, old-timer figure, which is what they're really going for. So if you're not familiar with BadCube, it's because they were formerly known as Cubex, and their first release was their Huff, which was their version of Huffer. Okay, so this is kind of like their second release from that company, and their third release will be released simultaneously, OTS-03, which will be a remold of this, which will be their version of Outback, which is called Outland. Okay, so this guy can be bought separately or with a 2-pack with Backland, and if you buy the 2-pack, you do get some extra accessories again, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So again, for robot mode review, let's start off with the head sculpt. And his head sculpt actually looks quite good. It looks very much like what you would expect Brawn to look like in the real world. So you do get to see his nice silver face. I'll actually pan up just a little bit more. Nice silver face, blue eyes. He has his, dome helmet, which I never really liked about Brawn. Just the look of that dome helmet. I thought it looked kind of goofy, like a big bowl cut, metallic bowl cut. But if you like Brawn, this guy does look quite good as a representation. He has those lines on his face which make him look older and gruffer, and he has that grimace, which again I think captures the character from the G1 series quite well. So let's go ahead and zoom back out. So as far as articulation goes, he doesn't have a ball jointed head. He has a dual swivel head, so he can go up like that and like that. You can do the Exorcist if you want. As far as his shoulders, he has nice soft ratchets that can go all the way around. He has great shoulder articulation and movement. It goes all the way up here. He has a nice and tight bicep swivel. He has double jointed elbows, which help with transformation. And he does have wrist swivel. And lastly, for his hands, he does have 4 molded fingers. So they're all in one piece, and the rest of the hand is molded as one piece. Oops, sorry, that's coming unpegged. He does have waist swivel, which can go all the way around. As far as his leg goes, he does have, so he has this kind of weird hinge here, which is kind of for transformation, and that will be actually tightened up a bit. So they told me already that this die-cast piece, this metal piece here, die-cast piece, will be painted yellow as well to match the rest of the yellow, so it'll be hidden, and that will actually increase some of the tightness on this one hinge, and also that they're gonna move the placement of this screw a bit, and that should keep this one piece from drooping down, which is one of my major complaints about this test shot. But they were already aware of that, and so they're going to try to fix it. So the legs have, I feel like they do have a ratchet. It's hard to tell, but it's really soft. And then you can also go out like so. You do get some interference with the hip. As you see, I'm having some problems and some interference here. It's not terrible. You can get around it, but it's still there. He does have a thigh swivel, upper thigh swivel here, as well as double jointed knee. So he has a top joint here and one that's kind of hidden by his kneecap down here. Coming down to his feet, he does have ankle tilts that go in and a little bit out, like maybe a tiny bit out. Or it might just be straight. It might just be me imagining things. But he doesn't have any forward or back ankle tilt, which is a shame. But he does have toe articulation, so he can go down and up on his toe, which is still nice. So you can get a pretty good amount of poses out of this guy, especially with the double jointed knees and so forth. And those ankle tilt, inward ankle tilts really do help. And you really only need inward for the most part. I don't think you really need outward much. So I think that's it for articulation. I did want to point out, so when we did a 360 view, a lot of figures often have hollow legs. And this guy has these two pieces here that fill in most of the lower part of the leg. I mean, you still have some of this hollowness up here, but it's not terrible. And this part it filled in nicely with these two pieces. And these are actually parts of the accessory. So these are the gas canisters or gas tank, extra gas tank. And that actually combines with the pistol that we'll go into a little bit later, and that will fit on his back. But that's actually really nice that they thought of it, and I actually missed it because I didn't have the instructions initially, and I didn't know that, and I was going to complain about the gappy calves, but they really thought of filling that up, and they did it quite nicely with some parts forming, so I like that. Let's see, is there anything else to talk about this guy in robot mode? I guess we'll talk about the accessories. Oh, I will say that again, this test shot does have some looseness here, like some play in the shoulders, but again, this is a test shot. They're already well aware of that, so they're going to go ahead and try to tighten those tolerances up all around. But overall, this figure is quite tight, so only a couple of places that I've been able to point out. So as I said, you can buy this guy separately or with Backland, their version of Outback. But if you buy him Brawny by himself, you do get this pistol and this drill beast. This goes into robot alt mode. I haven't figured out a way to use it in alt mode yet. Oh, I'm sorry, the opposite. I figured out how to use it in alt mode, not in robot mode yet. And again, the gas tanks that fill in the back of the legs will combine with this pistol. If you do buy him in that two-piece set with Backland, you will also get 4 Brawny specifically, but you can use it with them with Backland as well as these extra pieces. So this, which looks like almost like rabbit ears, is a piece that goes onto the roof of the car that acts as a mount for this gun. This big honking cannon, which can be used both in both modes with this handle here that folds out. We'll show that in a bit. The other 2 extra pieces you get for Brawny, if you get the 2-piece set, is you'll get this alternate face. Let's see if we can zoom in and focus on it. Are you gonna focus? There we go. So you get this alternate like growling face, as well as this welding torch. Okay, so you get those 4 accessories specifically for Brawny if you buy the set. And if you buy the set, you will also get some extra things for Backland, including a quint, a landmine, and another alternate face just for him. Alright, zooming back out. So let's go ahead and just deal with the accessories that he does have that comes specifically for Brawny if you buy him by himself. So this gun, his pistol is a little bit different in that it doesn't have like a traditional handle. It just has kind of like this flat tab, and that works how you would expect. There's a slot in both sides of the hands that you just rotate that into and you close it around, and he holds it quite well. So this drill piece that I was getting confused about before, I thought that you might be able to use this when you fold it in the hand and to plug it in as kind of like a drill piece, a drill hand, alternate hand, but that's actually not the case. There might be another use for it, but honestly I didn't see it in the instructions, and it wasn't really obvious to me. So I'm going to say that this is only really used for alt mode. Alright. Since we already have him in robot mode, let's go ahead and talk about the bonus accessories again with this set. This one you kind of hook in underneath. There's a tab piece here. You hook it underneath and then push it on the front. So you get the torch, or welding torch. And if you get this gun out of the way, you can put in the huge cannon. by folding this tab down and again rotating it in to the palm. And then he has this huge gun. Look at this beast. It's huge, but it's quite nice. So I like that they added a bonus if you bought the set. If you buy the set. And last but not least is I'll show how to install the alternate head, and it's quite a nice mechanism. So all you do is come in, fold the head up, and then you have to actually pull the face forward so you can see that there's kind of can you focus in real quick for me? Oh, sorry. So there's kind of two tabs. Come on, show the face. Alright, zoom in, show the face. There we go. So you'll see that there's two tabs on each side and corresponding like slots on this side. So it just pushes straight in and then the eyes filled in there. So I'll put in the alternate face, which we saw earlier. And all you do is go ahead and push it straight on. And there you have him, yelling Brawny. Alright. So I think that's it for robot mode review, aside from some comparisons. So I'm going to do quite a bit of comparisons. So first and foremost, because we have to have it, we'll bring in MP10, and you can see MP10 just towers over Brawny. He's like half the size. You could probably literally get two Brawnies stacked on top of each other and be almost to the height of MP10. Okay. Getting him out of the way. Some people requested a comparison with Soundwave, and again, knowing how big he is compared to MP10, you'll see that again, it's about half the size of some of the taller masterpieces. But the reason why some people ask for that is so that I can bring in the tapes, some other small robots that we can do comparisons with. So we got Rumble here. Yes, I call him Rumble because I'm a cartoon fan, not a comic fan. And then we see Ravage here. So they scale quite well. Alright. So I think that's it for the comparisons I wanted to do for robot mode. And I wanted to jump straight into transformation. So let's get this. Alright, so to get Brawny into alt mode, we're going to go start off with the fist. So the fist, you're going to open up the back panels of the forearms, or the bottom panels, and you're going to rotate them straight in. And close them up. Okay? Next up, you're going to go ahead and rotate the arms using the double jointed elbows. Rotate them up like so. And we're going to actually clear them out of the way. So let's go ahead and just rotate them like so. And the reason we're doing that is because we're going to need to fold out this chest panel. So we're going to untab on both sides here. And these pieces are going to fold flat. Like this. And that's why we just wanted to get those arms rotated out of the way. The next thing is you want to pull all the way out. And then you'll see green pieces being revealed here. So then we open up the chest. Pull out the front grille. I'm going to rotate the front grille all the way up. And one thing is right here you want to push on the bottom hinge here so that this little piece goes ahead and hooks around the yellow. So you're going to rotate this up and tab in the front grille to the hood. Then we'll go ahead and rotate this hinge here to get the roof up, and we're going to rotate these panels out. So there's two panels, there's one and then two, so that forms the roof and the back window. Then coming back to the chest area, you're going to want to rotate these green pieces all the way up, and then they tab into the hood as well. Rotate it up into the hood and to the front grille like so. And then we're going to go and rotate one more time. So we're going to rotate on this yellow inner panel. We're going to rotate it downwards towards the camera like this on both sides. And that way the arms are kind of faced like so. They're kind of vertical now. Straighten out this area here because we're going to deal with that later. And then we're going to actually fold, here, it might be easier to show it this way, is to fold the doors, what are essentially the doors, closed. Like that. When you do that, you want to make use of these peg holes and this center black tab here, and they're gonna tab in. It's kind of hard to see, and it's always a lot harder to actually do on camera than in person. Let's see if I can actually do that there. So we got one side. Trying to get the other side in. There we go. All right, so that's basically the front of the car. Now we're going to deal with the legs, which are really kind of interesting. So the legs, the first thing I like to do is actually rotate this all the way forward, like so. And then we're going to open up this leg panel, inner leg panel. And then we're going to get rid of this gas canister, this half. And with that space, we're going to rotate the foot up, rotate the foot, the toe upwards, and rotate that in. Okay? So once you have that done, you're going to keep rotating, and then you're going to rotate this whole panel around. And you got to make sure you clear the foot. And then there's a silver tab here that's part of the knee that you tabbed into. Okay? So I know that was kind of confusing, so let's do it again. On this side, go ahead and open up this panel, get rid of this gas canister, pull that out, save it for later, rotate the foot, bend in the toe, rotate it in. Then we're gonna, so you're bending the knee forward as opposed to what you would expect normally. Instead of going like that with the normal knee bend, you actually rotate it forward. Okay, and that will again reveal this tab, rotate this piece around, and tab that in. And you basically have the back done. You want to peg these two tabs together. Alright, so then one of the last things you have to do is tab in these two yellow tabs. These two yellow tabs here have corresponding tabs on the inside here. And they're kind of hard to get in there. You just need to get them close. They don't need to tab in tightly, but you kind of just finagle with them until they get in, kind of like so. And that's basically the back piece. You're going to rotate this up, and these two tabs on either side tab into the doors. Again, it's kind of hard to see everything at once. But once you have that done, you're going to use this die cast piece to tab into the underside of the roof right here. So you're going to finally rotate the roof down, up, messed it up, tab that in, and then this back piece will kind of sit there, and then while you rotate these double hinge side pieces all the way up, and those tab in at the top, and also this little tab here. So let me do it the right side up so people don't get confused. Again, double hinge, rotating it up, then all tabs into place. Make sure those side tabs are still in place there. Make sure that both tabs are tabbed into place there. And again, this piece kind of came down. Just remember to push on it so that black piece comes up and around, and you'll feel it tab into place. And that's it. That is robot mode. I mean alt mode. You do want to bring in the pistol that we saw earlier and fold up this part and fold up this, and then get those gas canisters. So the two gas canisters kind of form two halves like so, but they don't stay together. You actually need to use these peg holes and these pegs. Fold that in and push in, and this gas canister uses this tab and this tab slot here, pegs in, it sits off center on the back like so. Alright, so let's take a good look at Brawny from all sides. front, and the side, and back around. The drill piece that comes with him, use this tab into the grill here. And this is what you get in alt mode if you buy Brawny alone. If, again, you do buy the set with backland, you're going to get this piece, these like rabbit ear pieces. They peg in here where the spare wheel is, and the spare wheel does spin, and actually does come off as well, so you can unpeg it and peg it back on if you want. These rabbit ears, go ahead and plug in there and kind of sit on the top. And what that does, it allows you to fold this handle forward on the big cannon and use that peg hole, and it sits like so. And then you have this drilling cannon tank kind of, I guess, outback all-terrain vehicle. Like, I don't know what it's called. It's kind of like a safari jeep, I guess. But yeah, this is what you get with Brawny. And it looks quite good. Again, it's a good representation of the G1 toy and the cartoon. You do see the arms through the windows because they're not, you know, tinted dark or anything like that, which is a minor quibble. And back here, it's like a painted dark window as opposed to actual translucent plastic. But you do get that in the back as well. It's this actual translucent plastic. Oh, that wasn't tabbed in correctly. Sorry about that. That should sit flush. But overall, it looks pretty clean from the bottom. It does look a little hollow here, but again, who really looks at their figures from the bottom in alt mode? So quite nice. Let's get rid of this piece here, this here, and the mount. And let's do some alt mode comparisons real quick. We'll bring in the newest masterpiece, Wheeljack. And you can see, you may be able to see, that he is shorter than Wheeljack. And he's also a good deal thinner. Another comparison, I guess we'll go ahead and bring in Laserbeak real quick to show how big he is in alt mode. Let's go ahead and bring in the required MP10 trailer so that we can show that he actually does fit in here. Pull that out. It fits right in. You can close up. Rolls right out. I will say that I tried earlier. If you do have this on, it does interfere, so you have to take that off, from what I can tell, to get him to fit in. But yeah, that's it for alt mode review. Pretty quick, pretty basic. I do like them. Again, this mode I think is really pretty clean. I mean, you do get some yellow here, but overall he looks pretty clean. Alright, so to get Brawny back into robot mode, let's go ahead and take off this gas canister. And you're going to want to separate the two halves and get the pistol out. Okay, let's just set those off to the side for now. And to deal with Brawny getting back, we first have to unpeg these two side panels and fold them down. They're on double hinges, and you want to tab in these pegs into the side pieces here. So just take a little bit of finagling to figure out exactly how those double hinges work. We'll actually deal with that a little bit later. So then we can pull up the roof using this hood hinge, fold this in, and fold this in once again. The one thing I will say here is that the backpack could have been made a lot smaller if instead of using the hinge here, they made the hinge on this side. Because as you can see, this actually sticks out quite a bit. If they had used the hinge on this part, on this side, it would have tucked in a lot better and it would have been a smaller backpack. So that's a small quibble I have there. So not to get too distracted, we're going to untab these two back sections and then split the legs. So straighten these pieces out. We're going to bring out the foot, so rotate that down, straighten out the toe, and then rotate that forward. Same thing here, straighten, rotate it out, straighten out the toe, rotate it forward. And then we'll deal with these two halves now. So this half, so there's two peg holes here on the inside of the leg to fill in with these. You're going to use this tab on the outside, one's closer to outside. Tab that in. Come on. Just gonna, yeah, there you go. Just rotate that in. It's a little tight, but that's good. This one you're actually going to use the inside one because they're the handles are kind of like off-centered. Okay, so once you do that, you can straighten out the leg, rotate the silver piece down. That actually fills in the kneecap up here and reveals that. And then you rotate these inner leg pieces and use that tab into that peg into that peg hole on each side. Okay, again, making sure that these peg in correctly. It's a bit of a challenge here on these leg panels. Come on, this shouldn't be that hard. There we go. Alright, so the lower body's basically done. Moving up to the upper body. Let's zoom out a little bit. I feel like I'm all in everyone's face. So what you're going to do is unpeg the arms from the black centerpiece. And we can rotate that all the way up. We're going to unpeg the side front parts. So that will release the grill, which will rotate all the way down. Fold this in, make use of these tabs and to these tab holes. You need to make sure that they go in all the way, otherwise you won't get clearance for these slots here, which you'll need later. Okay, so now once we have that, we're actually going to rotate these entire green shoulder pieces. So make sure to untap them here and then rotate them down. And this is where you just need to be a little bit careful. So we're going to want to accordion this forward like so, and you want to have it in a certain position like this so that the silver piece is horizontal, because there's silver pegs there that when you collapse, and you'll see it here, they go into these little peg holes there. So you just need to be careful. So you want to peg those in securely, and then you can peg in the, like, move the chest in forward. Alright, and we're going to rotate these yellow panels around and fold these closed. Those will tab in. Okay, so once again, you're going to rotate the yellow panel only, not the green one, which is already pegged into place. Unfold these and tab them into the chest at the top and bottom. Then you can straighten out the arms, fold down the backpack, and then open up the arms so to get the fist out. Mine are really tight, so we're just going to go in and reach in with a tool, get that out, close that up. Same thing on the other side. Take that out, pull that up, close it up, and there we have Brawny back in, oh, going the other way, back in robot mode. Alright, so final thoughts on BadCube's Brawny. So as far as positives go, we've talked about them. He just looks really great in both modes as a really good representation of Brawn, both in terms of the cartoon aesthetic and the G1 toy as well. And he does scale really well for the Masterpiece line. So if you're a Masterpiece collector, he's a good addition. If you're a Brawn fan, I mean, he's an easy sell, I think, in that respect, because he just looks really great. Head sculpt, just the overall look. I think he would benefit from some additional paint apps as well as some tightnesses and tolerances, which I know that they said they're addressing. Some of the negatives are that, you know, some of the designs and quality could be improved upon, like the swirls here on the knees, the leg panel It would be nicer if it was a little bit cleaner, and it looks kind of out of place and not really for an outer leg piece. Some of the other design choices, this hinge is the biggest culprit. Like it really should tab in. They really do need to have something like that. I know that they said they're going to apply paint and adjust the screw placement, and it should be tight on the final release, but I'm just not confident that it will be what it needs to be without that tab in place. So that's my recommendation. I don't know if they're going to take it or not, but I've said my piece on that. The other negatives are the overall plastic quality. It's in line with Cubex Huff, so I was lucky enough to actually mess around with Huff earlier this evening before shooting this final thoughts section, and it's in line with that overall quality. The plastic isn't the greatest, but it's actually not bad either. It's not like you're gonna feel like you're gonna break anything, but I do think Cubex, aka BadCube, would do much better if they improve the plastic quality on this guy. Lastly, I wanted to talk about the price point of this guy. So this guy is somewhere in the $80 to $90 range, and I think at that price point he's a little overpriced. I think compared to other third-party figures of this size and quality, I think you get more value out of some other figures. That said, he's a great looking Brawn. Also, if you buy him with the 2-pack with Backlund, their version of Outback, I think that makes the value much more attractive. So you get those extra accessories that we showed for Brawn earlier, like the cannon and the welding iron and the extra face. And as well as for Backlund, you get those extra accessories that I mentioned as well. And that also brings down the per piece price of this set. So in that case, my recommendation is if you like Brawn and you like this figure, buy him in the 2-piece pack. That's probably the way to do it. Buy him individually. I don't think the value is really there. But with that, I think that's it for my final thoughts. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and share. And as always, if you like what I'm doing, please subscribe. That really does allow me to get early looks at figures like Brawny here and other test shots, and hopefully be able to run some interesting contests in the near future. I do want to give one last thanks to both Toy Dojo and BadCube for letting me review this guy early. And with that, I think we're done for today. So with that, everyone, have a good one. We'll see you next time.